I recognize the gentleman from California, Mr. Cisneros.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank our witnesses for being here today. And Admiral, I want to thank your Fleet Master Chief for your career, sir, and everything that you've done for this nation. Chiefs run the Navy. I'm a former naval officer. I can tell you one thing that when I left the Navy, I wish I still had I wish I could have took my chief with me there. The senior enlisted are a valuable asset to our military, and we need to do what we can to make sure that we support them in any way possible. I also want to say, just go back to Mr. Courtney's comments about the tariffs and what they are doing, Mr. No. You know, the fact that we have three nations, Japan, South Korea, and China, that are coming together because of these tariffs, and these are three nations that have a history of contention. You may say it's not the tariffs don't affect the military, but it is going to have an effect later on in the military, and so the Department of Defense should definitely be speaking up on that there, because it is going to affect us at some point. General Brunson, I'm going to start with you, sir. We've seen the DRP, the DPRK, and Iran provide support to Russia during the Ukrainian conflict, supplying soldiers, munitions, critical minerals. The strengthening of these relationships continues to undermine the security and stability of the Indo-Pacific region. What are we seeing in the reverse as far as, I mean, those Russia, China supplying materials, technology, and things to North Korea? And really, what have we learned from the North Korean Army, what their experience there in Ukraine that is going to benefit you and your knowledge?
Yes, sir. So one of the first things I would say is I'm concerned with, more importantly, what's coming back versus what's going out. I can see very, very well all the things that are going out. But coming back is technology. Coming back is critical munitions that are coming back there. What's coming back is critical material, which is changing our operating environment in a large way. And then what it's causing us to really do is look at how we might counter those things, that we might be able to continue to deter them, or have Kim Jong-un say, not today, not today. And some of that has to do with the posture that we take as we sort of organize ourselves differently within our operating environment. And I think that another thing that I'm looking at routinely is, how am I communicating those things back out? How am I going back to ensure that not only our friends, partners, and allies are also witting to this, but how am I communicating back with Indo-PACOM to ensure that we are able to talk about the changes that we might have in our OE as well?
Have you learned lessons from about the North Korean Army, about how they've been operating and what they've been doing in Ukraine, that are going to be valuable to you?
Yes, sir. We most certainly have.
Good. Thank you. Admiral, you know, you and your fellow COCOMs are competing for assets continually, whether it be the aircraft carriers, air squadrons, special operation forces, Patriot missile batteries. Can you discuss the challenges that you're facing there in trying to respond to China's operations while you're competing for those assets?
Yes, Congressman. Understanding that, there's a high demand for the global force is just my job. So mitigating that when the Commander-in-Chief makes a decision to shift one capability to another theater, and to be able to mitigate for that. And sometimes it's the substitution of other relevant capabilities. Sometimes it's knowing what the response time is of that capability to restore it to the Indo-Pacific. All those are important factors. And so our job is to take the policy decisions and to mitigate those, to express the risk, and to do our very best to restore deterrence and to provide the indications and warnings if it has to return to a theater that has more exigent needs.
Okay. With that, thank you very much for that answer, Admiral. And I got about 30 seconds left, so I'm just going to yield my time back. Thank you.